Observe a toddler staring at a simple shadow on the wall. They are completely absorbed. This is the transcendental state of early childhood, a profound depth of presence that exists before any conditioning takes hold. For a newborn, joy requires no external justification. It is an innate quality of being. At this stage, happiness is the default operating system, requiring no achievement to trigger it. This joy manifests as relentless spontaneity. A child follows every impulse to touch, explore, and move toward whatever captures their attention. It is a wild, unfiltered drive to discover the world. Human beings are born wild. We are biologically wired for joyful, spontaneous discovery, long before we encounter the status quo of society. However, pure spontaneity is dangerous. A child acting on every impulse will spontaneously jump from a height or grab a flame. Survival requires intervention. We undergo a necessary process of taming. Parents and teachers must civilize this wildness, training us to stop the innate flow of impulse, to think before we act, and to look before we cross the street. This survival training carries a heavy psychological price. We begin to label our natural curiosity as stupid or unproductive. We are taught that seriousness is a virtue, and that spontaneous joy is a distraction from the adult world. By adulthood, we are often locked in. We operate through a series of rigid behavioral protocols, behaving exactly as we are expected to, while the original, essential self remains hidden behind the grid. Physical survival and societal functioning are secured, but the essential spirit is systematically imprisoned. We become fully functional grown-ups who feel increasingly hollow and disconnected from our own nature. To manage this inner emptiness, we chase conditional happiness. We tell ourselves we will be happy once we have enough money, the right job, or the perfect relationship. This cycle is temporary by design. The satisfaction of the new car or the promotion fades after a few days, and the baseline of emptiness inevitably returns, demanding a new external object to fix it. Unconditioned curiosity offers an escape from this loop. It operates independently of external rewards. It is the sudden, inexplicable interest that pulls us towards something simply because it feels meaningful. This type of interest moves us towards self-discovery. Even when we are curious about something outside ourselves, we are actually following a trail toward what resonates with us, seeking the truth of who we are. Imagine riding a bicycle through a rainy, gray city. There is no external reason to be happy. The environment and people are somber. Yet you feel a subtle pull to explore a side street or look at something small and strange. You choose to follow that curiosity, even though it serves no practical purpose. Honoring that internal pull generates a quiet, resilient joy. It is a form of inner sunshine that arises simply because you are being yourself, regardless of the weather or your life situation. Your internal superego will try to kill this moment. It demands that you stay serious and productive, viewing this spontaneous smile as irrational or childish. Sustaining this happiness requires the freedom to be exactly who you are in the present. It is an internal generation that thrives when you stop conditioning your joy on adult duties. Reclaiming the spirit of the child does not require a regression into dangerous impulsivity or a rejection of adult responsibility. It is possible to achieve an elegant spontaneity, where our actions are both free and appropriate for the moment. Consider the master glassblower. They spent years learning boring, rigid techniques. They mastered the protocols of heat and pressure through intense, controlled discipline. At the point of total mastery, those rigid rules become invisible. The artist can then be fully spontaneous, using their disciplined know-how to allow pure magic to flow through their hands. This is the project of psychological maturity. We use our ego structure and our learned skills as a vessel, a skillful means to bring our essential spirit into the world with elegance. This process is a drive toward truth. Curiosity leads us to discover what is true about ourselves, rather than what we have been taught to believe. When we follow our curiosity, we eventually encounter things that have a ring of truth. Sometimes that truth is painful, like finally admitting a relationship has ended. Even in difficult moments, knowing the truth brings a profound sense of relief. We are no longer living in a dream. We are in alignment with reality, and that clarity is more fulfilling than a superficial smile. There is a deep wildness in the human spirit that resists domestication. As they say in Italy, "Al cuore non si comanda," the heart cannot be ruled upon. The invitation is to stop living exclusively by rigid protocols. By courting your innate curiosity, you can transform the experience of a standard adult life into a profound gift of self-discovery.